Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Uzma Jafri. Let's see what we have lined up for you this week. Locals in GilgitBaltistan suffer during their most significant festival, Ramadan. People express angst over inadequate water and electricity supply in the illegally occupied GilgitBaltistan. The Central University of Kashmir organizes conference to promote the G20 summit. Pakka houses being constructed under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in Kupwara. And now in our special section of Incredible India, we'll take you to witness how Christians across India celebrated Easter, a festival that marks the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Even during the sacred month of Ramadan, the region of illegally occupied GilgitBaltistan is grappling with inflation. The costs of almost all items have touched a new high. People are struggling to fulfill their basic needs with the income they earn through menial jobs. With a corrupt system and an unjust regime to turn to, hope seems to be fading for the innocent people of GilgitBaltistan. A report.
Local residents in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been continuously raising their voices against the state-inflicted inflation that has further worsened their plight. The skyrocketing prices of almost all items, be it food or fuel, have severely hit their domestic budgets. This is at a time when all Muslims around the world are celebrating their most significant festival, Ramadan. But for the residents of Gilgit-Baltistan, it seems to be turning into a nightmare. For a large number of people in the region who are already reeling under a state of abject poverty, inflation has turned their life into living hell.
आप इसी से अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि लोग एक थैला आटे के लिए 4-5 दिन जो है ना इंतजार में रहते हैं और लेनू में रहते हैं। कहीं किसी को मिलते हैं, किसी को नहीं मिलते। अभी आप देखो टमाटर देखो 150-170 रुपये में किलो, प्याज देखो 260 रुपया किलो। समझ आएगी नहीं? ये तो ये हुकूमत तो लोगों को जान लेना चाहते हैं।
People of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been for years bearing the brunt of Pakistan's exploitative policies. They are repeatedly subjected to discrimination, where they are made to pay more for almost all goods and services, despite a consistently plummeting per capita income. And now this price hike in the month of Ramadan has come as an appalling blow that has just battered their lives. Locals accuse the establishment of being apathetic to their plights. The indigenous people of Gilgit-Baltistan not only face issues like poverty, malnutrition and unemployment, but they have no opportunities to grow due to a lack of basic infrastructure, good education and health care.
अभी जो खरबूजा मैंने लिया है ये 120 रुपए 130 रुपए, तो रेट एक जगह में मुकम्मल नहीं है। हुकूमत वक्त में ये मुतालबा करना चाहता हूँ कि महंगाई कम से कम के, ताकि आवाम तंग न हो। अभी इस वक्त जुमा पढ़ के लोग आए हैं, आप देख रहे हो इतना रश बना हुआ है। हर बंदे की गुंजाइश से बाहर है, कोई नहीं ले रहा है। अभी मैं मजबूर होकर लिया, बाकी किसी बंदे ने इस वक्त नहीं लिया। कि हुकूमत वक्त में यही मुतालबा करना चाहता हूँ वज़ीर आज़म से, चीफ जस्टिस से, आर्मी चीफ से, जितने भी बड़े हुक्मरान हैं, मैं इनसे खुलकर अपील करना चाहता हूँ कि ताकि आवाम पे महंगाई का बोझ कम कर दें, ताकि कोई ना कोई घर के लिए जरूरत पूरा करे। अभी जुमे का भी अच्छा वो दिन था और माह रमजान का भी महीना है, पाक महीना है, तो इसलिए मैं यही इल्तिजा करता हूँ हमारे सुकदू की आवाम की तरफ से।
While Pakistan has been witnessing economic challenges owing to its incompetent policies, the Gilgit-Baltistan region, which is already marginalized, has borne the major brunt of high inflation. economic losses being faced by Pakistan due to policy paralysis are compensated by its illegally occupied territories of Gilgit-Baltistan and POK. And this sudden escalation in the prices is merely one aspect of its exploitative designs.
For over 7 decades under Pakistan's illegal occupation, Gilgit-Baltistan has suffered a lot, and the people here have anger against the local administration and Pakistan. Even to demand their basic rights, they have to go through a lot of struggle, but to no avail. Recently, they came out on the roads to hold a demonstration against the shortage of water and electricity supply. A report.
People in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been living as second-class citizens in their own land for more than 7 decades. Residents here are not even accorded minimal standards of living. The locals have taken to the streets in protest of the decades-long persecution they have endured at the hands of Pakistan's puppet government. Recently, people in Gilgit-Baltistan held demonstrations, blocked roads, and demanded the very essentials such as food, water, and electricity from the administration.
सबसे पहले तो हमारा पानी का सबसे बड़ा मसला है। सेकंड जो है हमारे पास लाइट का मसला है। हमारे साथ खासकर नगरल एरिया के साथ सुतलीमा जैसा सलूक हो रहा है। ना हमें लाइट मिल रही है, ना हमें जनाब वाला पानी मिल रहा है, ना हमें आटा मिल रहा है। हमें पर या कोटा बढ़ाया जाए, हमें पानी बढ़ाया जाए, पानी दिया जाए, लाइट दी जाए कि हम गिलगित के बासी हैं, हम गिलगित के बाशिंदे हैं। ये नहीं कि हम कोई बाहर से आके यहाँ आबाद हुए हैं। हमने गवर्नमेंट से बारहा हमने रिक्वेस्ट की, वफद की शक्ल में गए, वाटर एंड सप्लाई में चले गए, हम आटा वालों के पास चले गए, महकमे खुराक वालों के पास चले गए, बिजली वालों के पास चले गए, हमारी कहीं सुनवाई नहीं हो रही है। तो इसका मतलब ये है कि गवर्नमेंट यही चाह रही है कि हालात ख़राब करें, मसाइल बढ़ें। तो हम ऐसा नहीं चाहते हैं। हम मौलाना गुजारिश करते हैं गवर्नमेंट से हमारे साथ इंसाफ किया जाए।
Simmered with anger and frustration, locals in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have meager supply of flour from public distribution centers. They criticize the government for corruption, and they assert that they will keep protesting until the wheat quota is reinstated and they are given access to adequate wheat flour for their families. Not only flour, but the people of this region are also facing acute water shortage and constant load shedding. Local authorities have failed to provide even the essentials to the residents.
सबसे पहले मुझे सैराब किया जाए, उसके बाद फिर दूसरों को दिया जाए। मैं चाहता हूँ और मेरा पानी जो है वो दूसरों को दिया जा रहा है और लोगों को पैसे खाए जा रहे हैं। हमारे पास सबूत है, होटलों को हमारे पानी दिया जा रहा है हमारे टाइम के। ये क्यों जाता है? मुलाजिमों के साथ वो अच्छा सलूक करे, बेशक हम भी अच्छा सलूक करें, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हमारा पानी वो लोगों को दे दे। अपने कंट्रोल में रखे, अपने उसमें रखे मुलाजिमों को। हमारा पानी ज़ाया हो रहा है, हम बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे। ये 3 चीजें हैं, पानी, बिजली और आटा हमारा बुनियादी मसला है। इनको हल किए बगैर हम नहीं छोड़ते।
The hardships faced by the people don't seem to move the authorities a bit. The government of Pakistan is continuously exploiting the resources of Gilgit-Baltistan to fill coffers, but is least interested in the welfare of indigenous residents of Gilgit-Baltistan.
India is now a force to be reckoned with. India's economic milestones, coupled with its diplomatic deftness, have placed the country right at the forefront. Countries world over have increasingly been appreciative of the Indian model and are looking to emulate its principles and policies. The G20 presidency, which has been dubbed one of India's most remarkable diplomatic achievements till date, has greatly added to its reputation. India planned as many as 200 G20 events across the country, of which one will be organized in Kashmir's Srinagar city. Recently, the Central University of Kashmir organized a conference to promote the event. Take a look.
The world is shifting from a bipolar world order to a multipolar world order. This change, however, comes at a cost of a global crisis. The world now looks up to India as a new hope that will lead the world through its policy of peace. Moving along the same lines, India assumed the G20 presidency in December 2022 and is now hosting over 200 G20 meetings in over 50 cities. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is one among them. The Central University of Kashmir organized a conference to engage young minds in discussions underlining the potential of the G20 summit and the ideals that pave India's way to lead the world. An event of such magnitude and global importance makes it imperative for the general population and especially the young minds to understand and analyze India's role and significance in the world process.
यहाँ बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स हुए डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स में रिगार्डिंग दिस G20 प्रेसिडेंसी. हमारे डिपार्टमेंट ने पर्टिकुलरली बॉटनी डिपार्टमेंट मिलेट अवेयरनेस पे एक प्रोग्राम एक कंपटीशन ऑर्गेनाइज किया था, प्ले कार्ड कंपटीशन, जिसमें हमने मार्च किया फ्रॉम ग्रीन कैंपस टू तुरमुला कैंपस और नूनर कैंपस में हम प्ले कार्ड्स लेकर हमने अवेयरनेस की लोगों में अबाउट द मिलेट कंजप्शन. मिलेट जिसकी जो अपटेक है वो बहुत ये एक फॉरगॉटन ग्रेन है, तो इसके लिए हमने एक अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम, एक मार्च हमने पास किया, अवेयरनेस लोगों से बात की ताकि हम मिलेट का जो कंजप्शन है वो इंक्रीज़ करें और इस फॉरगॉटन ग्रेन को हम अपने डाइट में वापस इंक्लूड कर सकें. और बाकी डिपार्टमेंट से भी बहुत सारे कॉम्पिटिशन्स हुए अबाउट एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज़ थे, जैसे क्लाइमेट चेंज पे था. बहुत सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स ने बहुत सारे इवेंट्स किए. तो हमारा पर्टिकुलरली बॉटनी डिपार्टमेंट से मिलेट अवेयरनेस पे ये प्रोग्राम हुआ था.
This special conference was supervised by the Central University of Kashmir at Sher-e Kashmir International Convention Centre on the banks of Dal Lake. It was attended by the Advisor Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, R.R. Bhatnagar, as the chief guest, and various other eminent intellectuals, professors and educationists who gave their valuable insights to the students. The conference not only aimed to spread awareness about the G20 mega event among the people and most importantly the youth, but also assimilate them into the larger task of nation building.
ये हमारी खुशकिस्मती है हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी की और हमारे डिपार्टमेंट की, जिसे हमें मौका मिला G20 यूनिवर्सिटी कनेक्ट में. तो इसकी काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंस है. करंटली अगर देखें जाए वर्ल्ड सिनेरियो में डिमांड जो है अभी एनर्जी की वो काफ़ी रिच है और उसके लिए हमें काफ़ी जो अभी फॉसिल फ्यूल्स वगैरह पे इन्हिसार करना पड़ता है. साइड बाय साइड वर्ल्ड जो बदल रहा है, तो इसमें से हमें इसके अवसर और भी देखने पड़े. लाइक हमने बायोडीजल बायोफ्यूल्स में जो इसका देखा तो उसमें काफ़ी उपयोग किया. अभी साइंटिस्ट पे वर्क कर रहे हैं और हम भी इसी राह में चल रहे हैं कि हम भी कोई एक नई इनोवेशन लेके आए जिससे ग्लोबल एनर्जी डिमांड मीट हो जाए और पूरे वर्ल्ड में ग्रीन एनर्जी जो है अभी पूरा चल रहा है, तो हम भी उसी के राह में राहें ढूंढ रहे हैं.
After the withdrawal of Article 370 that guaranteed the former state a special status, the G20 will be the first major international event to be held in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. G20 brings together the world's leading economies having more than 80% of the global GDP on one single platform to exchange dialogues in the matters of global concern and strategic partnerships. For J&K, the G20 event will mean a significant flux of tourism and a boost in the economy of the Union Territory. It opens new doors and opportunities for the people of Kashmir and India as a whole to make their mark upon the world.
It is indeed a matter of pride and privilege for us that in this year this university has been chosen to be part of the G20 celebrations, and also J&K, which is going to hold the tourist group. As you know, tourism is a major sector in J&K, and we will certainly use this opportunity to showcase J&K as the best of tourist locations which can match any location in India. And today's effort was to not only educate our students, the faculty and our young ones about the history and analyze the potential that this G20 presidency has, but also to motivate them to participate in some of the ideals that we are propagating in this presidency, our national priorities.
Owing to the government's strenuous efforts, the Western world, which had never taken India seriously, is now beginning to acknowledge India's might and strategic importance in the world order. It is time for the people of India to stand tall and convey the philosophy of an emerging new India to the world.
The development of border villages is a must for the progress of any nation. Considering the same, authorities in Jammu and Kashmir are carrying out many development works in the far-flung areas of the Union Territory. One of them is the construction of Pakka houses in the border villages of Kupwara district under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, which is enhancing the lives of citizens even in the most far-flung areas of the territory.
Shelter is one of the basic needs, and the central government is taking a number of steps to make sure that every citizen has a roof above his head. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is one such centrally sponsored scheme under which Pakka houses are being built all over the country. Work under the scheme is being carried out in full swing in the Kupwara district of the Union Territory, which will fulfill the dreams of several poor and vulnerable families of having their own Pakka houses.
में रहते थे, मिट्टी के मकानात थे, जब बारिश वगैरह होती थी तो अंदर पड़ती थी, टीन नहीं था, कोई अच्छी छत नहीं थी, तो हम बहुत मजबूर थे। गवर्नर साहब का, मोदी जी का शुक्र अदा करते हैं कि उन्होंने ये स्कीम 1,50,000 की निकाली, जिसकी वजह से हम अच्छे पक्के मकानात बना रहे हैं और इनमें रिहाइश अपनी कर रहे हैं। तो ये गवर्नमेंट का हमारे साथ बहुत अच्छा ताउन रहा और शुक्र अदा करते हैं कि जो ये स्कीम निकाली हमारा फ़ायदा हो गया, वरना हम ये मिट्टी के मकानात में थे कि बारिश हो, बर्फ़ हो तो हमें बहुत सख्ती और मुसीबत उठानी पड़ती थी, लेकिन अब हम इस मुसीबत से आज़ाद हो गए।
Under the scheme, beneficiaries are identified by using parameters from the socio-economic and caste census and verified by Gram Sabhas. Houseless families, families with houses having 0, 1 or 2 rooms with a kacha wall and a kacha roof, and households without a literate adult above 25 years of age are eligible to get benefits of the scheme. Beneficiaries under this scheme include economically weaker sections, low-income groups and middle-income groups. People across the Kupwara district who were living in very poor conditions expressed their gratitude to the Prime Minister for coming out with such a scheme.
गवर्नमेंट ने हमारे को दिया ये मकान। हम पहले मिट्टी के मकान में रहते थे तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हमारे को होती थी। अब जो गवर्नमेंट ने दिया ये पैसा तो हमने ये मकान बनाया, इसमें बहुत अच्छा हम आराम कर रहे हैं। तो और कर्जा भी है, लेकिन कर्जा अभी मुकाएंगे आस्ते आस्ते। तो शुक्र अदा करते हैं गवर्नमेंट का, मोदी साहब का, गवर्नर साहब का कि उन्होंने हमारे को ये अमदाद दिया, हमने ये मकान बनाए, हम भी किसी ऊपर पर पहुंचे थोड़ा।
Launched in June 2015, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin aims to provide housing to underprivileged people in rural and urban areas. A target of completing 2.95 crore houses has been set till 2024, out of which 1.9 crore houses have already been built across India under the PMAYG scheme. The deadline for the completion of the project, which was earlier set to March 2022, has now been extended till March 2024.
सरकार ने दिया हमारे कोई मकान का PMG आया हुआ है तो हमें हमारे पास कोई गुजारा नहीं था हमें बना लिया अब थोड़ा ये अधूरा है हम बना रहे हैं 5-6 दिन के अंदर अंदर हम ये मकान में दाखिल हो जाएंगे लेकिन बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया इस सरकार के हमें 2 लाख पौने 2 लाख दे दिया है मकान का बस 2-3 कमरे हो गए हैं सर एक कमरा रह गया अधूरा वो भी हो जाएगा कल परसों हो जाएगा 5-6 दिन के बाद हम अपना डेरा दाखिल करेंगे वहाँ
Though many projects have already been undertaken in the Kupwara district, many more are still in the row. These projects are prioritized in every village as per the suggestions of the Gram Sabha. The improvement of infrastructure in the border areas of the territory will not only link people living in these areas to the mainstream but also improve their living conditions and generate more employment opportunities.
And now in our special section of Incredible India, we'll take you to witness Easter, which is a Christian holiday that celebrates the belief in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The festival is celebrated with great religious fervor all around the world. People go to church for lighting candles and attending the midnight mass. Let's have a look at how Easter was celebrated around India this year.
Christians across India flock churches to attend the midnight mass and celebrate the occasion of Easter, the day when Jesus Christ was resurrected from the dead 3 days after his crucifixion. Men, women and children lit candles and offered prayers in churches to mark the festival. Christ's resurrection is seen as a sign of new beginnings and hope, and it is thought that people who believe in him will be resurrected as well.
Tonight at about 11:30 p.m. all the faithful will be gathered outside the church to celebrate the resurrection of the Jesus Christ. He died and buried, and on the 3rd day he rose again. This is the event that we are going to celebrate late night. And for this purpose, we will bless the new fire. New fire symbolizes our purification and symbolizes the newness of our life. With this new fire, we will light the candle, which we call the Easter candle, representing the risen Lord. For he has said, I am the light of the world.
சமூக செய்தி ஊடக நண்பர்களுக்கும் தொலைக்காட்சி நேயர்களுக்கும் முதலிலே கிறிஸ்து உயிர்ப்பின் பெருவிழாவின் வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வதில் நான் பெருமகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றேன். உலகத்தில் இருக்கின்ற கிறிஸ்தவர்கள் ஏறக்குறைய 280 கோடி மக்கள் இன்று கிறிஸ்துவின் உயிர்ப்பின் விழாவை கொண்டாடுகிறார்கள். இந்த விழா கிறிஸ்தவங்களுக்கு மட்டும் கிடையாது, மனித குலத்திற்கு மானிடத்திற்கு கொடுக்கப்படுகின்ற விழா. கிறிஸ்துவுடைய இறப்பு.
Devotees in New Delhi, Goa and Thiruvananthapuram cities were seen celebrating the festival with great religious fervor. Lights were turned off to symbolize the darkness of Jesus' crucifixion, and the night sky was filled with colorful fireworks. According to Christian beliefs, Easter is a celebration of triumph of life over death.
Easter is the most important day or solemnity in the calendar of the Christian church and faith, because on this day we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, our Lord, from death. We know that he was crucified on the cross, and that was remembered on Good Friday.
The celebration of the Easter festival begins on Palm Sunday, a day which marks the entrance of Jesus in Jerusalem. The next important day is that of Good Friday, which commemorates the crucifixion and the death of Jesus Christ. In Western Christianity, Easter begins on Easter Sunday and ends on 50th day. During the Holy Week, devotees observe a 40-day fasting ritual where they abstain from meat and alcohol.
I'm standing in front of St. Joseph's Cathedral in Palayam, Trivandrum. So tonight we are celebrating Easter season, and our church has conducted a major celebration over here, led by the famous priest and bishop. And tonight families and friends have gathered here to celebrate the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. This marks as the end of season of Lent, and families and friends gather together to celebrate the season of Lent, and this marks the end of season.
Easter is a popular day for the process of baptism and welcoming new members into the Christian faith. This day also marks the end of the Lent period.
That's all we have for you in this week's episode. Goodbye and take care.
Julian